This is a short video on how to create a workflow rule that adds a checklist to a ticket. And in this specific case, we're going to add a checklist to when a service call is scheduled, and it's going to be an on-site checklist. So the first thing I want to do is go to the admin module. I just roll over my bookmarks, go to admin. The way I've bookmarked this landing page is by clicking this yellow star up there. Once in the admin module, I go to workflow rules. And I'm going to click new. Now notice I'm always in service desk, and this is kind of a sticky, but be sure you're in the fourth tab over service desk. That's where you're going to create workflow rules that add checklists to tickets. Incidentally, if I was in the CRM, I could create an opportunity workflow that would add a checklist to a workflow. Same thing in projects. I could add a workflow for projects that would add a task checklist to a task. But today we're going to add a checklist to a workflow rule for a ticket. So the first thing we're going to do is title this add on-site checklist to we're just going to leave that add checklist. So my team knows what this is. This is for demonstration purposes only, showing a gladiator how to add checklists by way of workflow rules. There we go. Now, the next challenge that we're going to have is we actually need to create two workflow rules for both situations. I'm going to create one today for when I create a new ticket, but it's going to be different if I was editing a ticket. So create new ticket. Logic would say, we would say when a service call is scheduled, but when I'm creating a ticket, the service call isn't scheduled yet. And there is a good chance I'm going to change the status to a dispatch on site, and there isn't going to be a service call scheduled. So we're not going to use the service call scheduled here because I'm afraid that this workflow rule will fire before we add the service call. So the next thing I want is for conditions, and we're going to use a status as a condition. So when the status is equal to, in this case, dispatched on site. So anytime a ticket is created that the status is dispatched on site, it's going to add this checklist. We then could, and I'll show you in a minute, we'll copy it and change this create to edit by, and then we'll go status is changed to on site, then pull in the checklist. Now, if you look in here under updates, there isn't a checklist in this list. We come down here to then add items from the following checklist to the tickets checklist. Okay, so in this workflow, now we don't really have an on-site visit checklist. So I'm just going to use onboarding a computer as my example of the checklist. So I think that's it. Let's save and close here. And then I'm going to create a new ticket. And I'm going to use a speed code called, let's do small service requests. That sounds good. So there we go. A lot of has been populated. It's a MAC less than 4 hours. It's dispatched on site. I need to add a ticket title. Let's add demonstration. And then this ticket was used to show how a workflow rule adds a checklist to a ticket. Okay, there we go. We got a description. You'll notice checklist is empty. I need either a primary resource or a queue, so let's pick on technician 3. And in this case, the work type is going to be on site. The work type could have been set by a speed code if we had like an on-site small service request or something like that. So we could have set all those fields. Oh, we need to pick an account. Let's pick customer. There we go. Let's just pick customer 3. Customer 3, technician 3. I'm in a rut, right? Okay, so let's just save this and see what happens. Okay, nothing so far. So if I want to refresh this, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go to my recents and I'm going to grab this newest ticket. And I still don't see a checklist. I'm looking for a checklist populating right here in the middle. So let's try it one more time. And if it doesn't fire in 6 seconds, then we'll go see if the workflow rule fired. Oh, there it is. There's our checklist that was added. Just got to wait a little bit. So that's how the workflow works when you're creating a ticket. Now what I want to do is show the other ticket. We're going to copy this workflow. This is a copy of add on-site checklist. And here we're going to say for existing ticket. And what's happening here is I should have added for a new ticket on the other one. So we don't want create by now, we want edit by. And the reason we're doing 2 is because in this status, I want to change this from equal to change to. And if we did this for every, if we left the other one like created and edited and equals dispatch, then every time somebody touches the ticket, it's going to push a new checklist on it. And I'm afraid we're going to lose the check marks we've already done. So the only time we want this checklist added is either when the ticket was created or if it was edited. I don't think I can put a filter on here because there still is a risk that this checklist is going to get overwritten. And I don't see that, but that's just a risk that's going to have to be taken. Is because we have tickets that are created to dispatch. Oh no, if it's already in dispatch and you go to edit it, it's not going to change it. So this is good. So down here, we still have that same checklist that's going to be added. Okay. So what does this look like? Let's save and close this one. For saving input string was not incorrect for a system. Have no idea what that talks about. So everything looks correct to me. Let's see if we get the same error message. Error saving input string was not in correct format. I don't know what input string they're talking about. I must have clicked something. I must have clicked something accidentally. So let's just edit this workflow rule. It saved it as a copy. To And we want to take out the word create. We want to add the word edit. And we're going to change the status from equal to change to. And we're going to save and close. Okay, that time it's happy. Those are the two I just created. So now you're wondering, okay, what do we do from here? Let's go back to our dashboard and let's grab a ticket out of the, this is a ready to engage ticket. And I'm going to change the status to dispatch remote. Dispatch on-site is what we want in order for this rule to fire. You'll notice there are no checklists. So I'm going to save this ticket. I'm going to wait 6 seconds. And then I'm going to open it again. Still not there. It's a long 6 seconds, isn't it? Somebody was telling me the other day they thought Autotask was running slower these days. There it is. So a little longer than 6 seconds. So that's there. Then I'm going to jump back to where the workflow rules are. And let's refresh. Let's do it this way. I see where that one's fired. I know this one's fired because it hasn't added it. I guess the only way, let's go out and come back in. Let's do that. And there you go. You can see they both fired one time. I hope this has been helpful. Shoot me an email if this is clear as mud. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.